The Joe Budden and Drake back and forth continues. Probably one of the most anticipated Joe Budden podcasts of all time is available exclusively on Patreon, according to Joe. Well, Joe revealed some DMs that he got from Drake following Drake's public diss after Joe decided to critique his newest project, For All the Dogs. According to Joe, this is what Drake DM'd him. Take a chill pill, Anthony. Have a drink, throw on some instrumentals, and maybe write one of those fellas. Do your thing, let me do my thing joints. For old time's sakes, a little radio play would do you some good, Papa. Because you're bringing up my friends and the chicks that I smash, like you know anything about that. Keep it music. I don't care what you listen to in your free time because the people's opinions I care about don't have free time. I also don't care if you like or dislike something, but talk about my life and ish like you trying to plant some seed or paint some narrative and turn people against me. Talk about the music. If you hate it, you hate it. But you talking about I'm out here effing 25-year-olds, that ish feels malicious to me, and I don't do well with that. Your nerd co-host can sit and talk about gangsta this and that, but you know how we get down, so keep it journalistic, jabronis. I do love that Drake called Joe jabroni. I do feel like we lost the art of the word jabroni. As a former wrestling fan that felt like he had to stop watching because one day I feel like I woke up and everybody in the black community said wrestling was fake and it wasn't cool to watch anymore. I do like Drake bringing back the word jabroni and all of this. I do think that it's an appropriate word to use. I wish we start calling people jabronis more often because some of you dudes be jabronis. Like, I don't want to call you a B. I don't want to call you out of your name like that. I just want to call you a jabroni. So I do like that Drake called Joe and his crew jabronis. I thought that was incredible, by the way. And to DM that makes it even better. Yeah, I was listening to this latest episode of the Joe Budden podcast, and you know, Joe's got a way of breaking down lyrics and seeing stuff that me, never being a rapper or never wanted to be a rapper, just stuff I can't see. And you know, he was breaking down some lyrics in which it appears that Drake was referencing younger women. And that appears to go back to what Joe was referencing, that Drake got very mad at. And, you know, I don't know what kind of sick game Drake and Joe are playing, or if Drake jumped off the deep end. Number one, when you put your opinion out there, you can't tell people how to respond. People have the right to take up for themselves. And Drake, if you go back and listen to a lot of his earlier music, he has let it be known. If he feels a way, he will find a way to respond. Now, we're used to Drake responding in the music, but this time around, Drake decided to respond to some of it in the music and some of it on Instagram, and with Charlamagne and Elliott Wilson, and now Joe Budden got a little bit of his smoke on this album run. Like I said previously, Joe probably should take it as a compliment. Maybe that means Drake holds more value in Joe's opinion right now than he does anybody else. I think that's probably the case. From a Drake perspective, me just being a fan of the music and loving Drake as one of my favorite artists to ever come around, if I'm being honest with you, I personally just felt like the music wasn't as witty, wasn't as creative as I've grown accustomed to as a Drake fan. I always judge music off the great ones as if, could I do it or not? Is that a bar or a reference I can make or not? And while I listened to Drake's last project, if I'm being completely honest with y'all, as a person that has never wanted to be a rapper, there were a lot of bars on Drake's For All the Dogs album that I could have made. And I never want to feel that way because I've never wanted to be a rapper. And I got the ultimate respect for the artists that do things every day that I can't do. I have that respect for everybody in their respective careers. If it's something I can't do, I'll respect them because I can't do it. I'm listening to some of these Drake bars and they're very doable. And I'm just not used to that from an artist that is as successful, as accomplished, and as great as Drake. I think that was the overarching Joe point. Now, they got some other stuff going on there that I ain't going to discuss. It appears, at least. Time, love, and support is what your boy will never take for granted. According to Joe, it appears that Drake sent a DM to him, a few of them, and they went back and forth about some other comments.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories, I talk music, I cover sports, I am culture. I am Ferro.